Of the 1.1 million students who started grade 1 in 2006, only 35% of them obtained a matric at the end of last year. Whilst this statistic is quite staggering, it does mean that congratulations are in order to the class of 2018 on having made it this far. The students sitting in the middle of the hall tonight are by far in the minority when compared with the rest of South Africa. And so, congratulations, my friends. I think the fact that some of us have made it this far comes as a great surprise to some of our teachers. But nevertheless, we are here. In the words of Nelson Mandela, education is the most powerful weapon which you can use to change the world. The future of our world has been sitting in these classrooms for the last 5 years. Good evening, Mr. Gervin, Mr. Berry, members of the governing body, ladies and gentlemen, students, and the class of 2018. High school has been one crazy adventure, the ride of a lifetime, and I've been privileged to have gone through it with around 200 of my closest friends. As Mr. Gervin so often says, a school is not the buildings, it's the people inside it. On Monday the 13th of January 2014, 213 nervous 13-year-olds arrived at Hillcrest High for the first time. 230 anxious faces being told what to do by a bunch of intimidating matrics who were our prefects. However, it didn't take long before we had settled, and we were soon wreaking havoc all over the school. It is a commonly shared idea amongst our matrics that we were the best, or at least the most entertaining set of grade 8s that there have been in our high school career. When I asked my peers why, the answer I got on almost every occasion was, we caused the most fights. I guess flocking to fights on the break field is what makes school entertaining. And so thank you to those of you who provided the entertainment. Furthermore, I wish Mrs. Gordon, our dear technology teacher, was here tonight. One example that springs to mind, lessons with Mrs. Gordon were never dull. One example that springs to mind was that of the box prank, as we called it. In this prank, our not-so-stereotypical A-class proceeded to trip, stumble, climb up and over, slide under, and be carried around an imaginary box blocking the doorway to her classroom. Poor Mrs. Gordon was so confused. She thoroughly inspected the doorway to find out what on earth we had been falling over, but alas, she found nothing. We thought it was hilarious. She, understandably, did not. We then entered grade 9. Mrs. Bortman was fortunate enough to have a few classes of our grade for German. Mevrouw, I'm not sure if you remember the squeaky yellow duck or the harmonica that used to go off during your lessons. Those were in fact not noises coming from someone outside. My apologies for the disruption caused by all of us that year. However, these are the grade 9 memories that will stick with me forever, so that has to count for something. Grade 10 came and went in a flash. Looking around, more and more of us were making it onto first-team sports fields, and so many of us were having impacts in an incredible number of service, cultural, and sporting areas. We were finally starting to make our mark on the school, especially a Piwe, whose marks on the field after cultural derby day. Walking into grade 11, I think we all knew that it was going to be a big year. Some of us had prefect aspirations, some of us were the opposite and could not wait for the trouble that could be caused as seniors. From the beginning, it promised to be an eventful year. For some of us, myself included, this year would be the beginning of the greatest chapter of our lives so far. This year allowed me to begin working with my Smurfing family. To the members of the student leadership team seated here tonight, I could never have expected such a remarkable team of young adults to work with. Guys, you've been the best. I know you have not been told it often enough throughout this year, but in the eyes of our teachers, parents, guests, and myself, you have been phenomenal. It is my prayer that we will all look back on this year in 5, 10, 15 years' time and be so tremendously proud of the job we did, the opportunities we had, and the ways in which we made the most of them. To the grade 11 sitting at the back of the hall tonight, next year is going to be incredible. Regardless of whether or not you are a member of the SLT, embrace all the challenges that you are faced with, make the most of every opportunity that you are given, and enjoy it. High school will be over far, far too quickly. To my fellow members of EdTech sitting on my left tonight, It has been an honor serving alongside you this year. You guys took so much initiative and did every single job you undertook so well. So to Mpilo, Mandy, Nats and Matt, thank you. And then to Michaela, my work wife. We will refrain from mentioning the Cardi B songs that I got sung on an hourly basis, the dancing that went with them, or the time that you dropped and smashed the microphone after your first ever speech as head girl. I asked some people from other schools to describe their head girls in a few words. Responses that I got included responsible, formal, a role model, and ladylike, amongst others. What on earth did I get given to me? I have no idea, but I can guarantee you that the lady sitting in the white blazer on the stage tonight has been the best head girl any school could ever ask for. Mick, the hours and hours that you have spent tirelessly helping others, tutoring your peers, screeching on the sidelines of sports fields, and making sure that each and every little insignificant grade 8 was doing okay, you have been an amazing inspiration to us all. The best good cop that there ever was. So thank you, Mick. It has been a privilege sharing this year with you. To Mr. Gervin and the members of management, thank you so much for the confidence that you have shown in me and the room that you have given me to flourish. Mr. Gervin, sir, I'm not sure if you're aware, but amongst the students you go by Batman, G-Dog, and the Boss. However, the respect for you within our school is second to none. Sir, you are the cornerstone upon which Hillcrest High is built, and so thank you for everything that you have done for the school. It has been an honor to serve Hillcrest to the best of my ability, and I hope that I have done you proud. To the members of staff sitting in the front rows tonight, you have all taught us lessons that extended far beyond the classroom, and you have all impacted a matrix life in some way or another. And so, on behalf of the class of 2018, thank you. To the many sports coaches that have helped so many of us over the years. For some of us, myself included, sport was the reason we came to school. Your patience and ability to make us feel like we were somewhat okay on the sports field has been amazing, so thank you. Finally, to Mrs. Cole, our Mama Smith, and Miss Giorgio, the two ladies involved in keeping our SLT body together. Your help, assistance, and senses of humor over the last year have made our lives a delight, so thank you. To Mrs. Berger and Mrs. Sparks, our beloved grade controllers. Thank you for being the ears that were always there to listen and the voices that were always there to speak on our behalf. We didn't make your years easy, but you made ours the best they could possibly have been, so thank you. To my mom and dad, your support and encouragement is appreciated far more than you realize and far more than I show. I must admit that when my mom told me she was coming to teach here at my matric year, I was far from overjoyed. But Mom, you've been amazing. So thanks, Mom and Dad. Lastly, to the matrics of 2018. The rest of our lives are about to begin, and I cannot wait to hear of the successes that you will all make of them. Life is going to present us with some amazing opportunities, but let us remember, if we are not willing to learn, no one can help us. However, if we are determined to learn, no one can stop us. It is my hope and my dream that each one of us will make the most of every opportunity we are presented with, and that we will all enjoy the successes that we deserve. In the words of Jim Rohn, let others lead small lives, but not you. Let others leave their futures in someone else's hands, but not you. Do not settle for mediocrity, dare to make a difference, dare to try. And in the words of Jake Bailey, at the best you will know the triumph of high achievement. At the worst you will fail while daring greatly. Hold tightly to this, and you shall never be amongst those cold and timid souls who know neither victory nor defeat. We will all encounter problems more difficult than those of maths, We will all face challenges far greater than those of grade 9s on the break field. But we will tackle them, we will triumph, and I wish you all the best. And so, to the class of 2018, in the words of Ellen DeGeneres, follow your passion, stay true to yourself, and never follow someone else's path, unless you're in the woods and you're lost and you stay far. Then by all means, you should follow that. Thank you for your time.